welcome back to Nini's Texas Kitchen. Tonight we're going to make homemade biscuits and sausage gravy. So what you're going to need is half a cup of shortening, 1 3/4 cup of flour. You need 2½ teaspoons of baking powder. You're going to need 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and you're going to need 3/4 cup of milk. Okay, so what you do first is, if you have a pastry mixer that looks like this, you can use it. If you don't, you can use a fork. All right, it don't matter either way. So take your shortening, take your flour, add your flour in, add in your baking powder. Then you need 3/4 teaspoon of salt. And then take your pastry mixer and just chop it up. So what you're wanting to do is mix it real good with the shortening until you start getting finer crumbles, like where the shortening and the flour have mixed together to make crumbles. Okay, so that's what you want to do. And then once you get it to there, and you mix it that way real good, then you're going to add in your milk and stir it all together, and you want it to form like a sticky ball of dough. And I'll show you that in a second. This flour is for our baby, so I'm just going to set that out of the way so y'all don't get mixed up with what's that for. Alright, so just keep mixing. And it's starting to get kind of crumbly. You can see little crumbles in it. That's what it looks like. See how you got like it's flour, but it's like forming like little parts that will stick together for you. So it's kind of crumbly. So just take my fork and I'm gonna scrape this off good. And I'll just make sure all the shortening's mixed again. One more good time. And it seems like it's pretty well mixed. See how it sticks together? Because you got that shortening in it. Alright. So you can set that to the side, you're done with it. Now you add your 3/4 cup of milk to your crumbly mixture. And I'm going to form it, mix it till it forms a ball. You can use a spoon. I like using a fork. I've always used that. It don't stick to it like it does a spoon. And then you can see here that it has made sort of a sticky dough ball. Okay, see how it kind of sticks together like that? Now, you want it sticky like that because you don't want your biscuits to be too dry. Dry biscuits are nasty. At least in Texas, we like our biscuits moist. All right, so you do it like that. Then take a little flour and sprinkle it around on your counter or wherever you're going to roll it out. I got my little silicone mat out again for this. And then I like to do it in halves so I don't overdo it one time. So I just use my fork, cut it in half, and then you're just going to kind of knead it around a little bit. You don't want to do it much because you don't want to add too much flour into it. So just a little bit, all right? Take a rolling pin and you want to roll it out to about 1/2 inch thickness. There, that's good. Now, go ahead and spray your pan you're going to cook them on with some nonstick spray. You preheat your oven to 450. Tonight I'm going to use my little convection oven. So I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to do it in here. It's just like you can do it in the oven at 450. It's fine. It's just this is the way I'm going to use it tonight. Set my temp to 450. And then I'm going to hit start. And it'll start preheating. Alright. So once I have it rolled out like this, I don't have my biscuit cutter yet. It's on order. So you want something that will cut your biscuits about 2 to 2.5 inches in diameter. Okay, so I'm just going to cut them out. I'm going to lay them on here, and if you have them sides touching, the sides will be a little softer and they will rise a little bit better. If you want your biscuits to have more of a crusty side, then you don't touch them. You space them out about 1 inch apart from each other. All right? But we like ours to be a little bit soft. Then I just take just a little bit of dough left, just kind of ball it back up, roll it out a little bit, and then cut some more. All right, so then take your second half of your dough and put it on there to your floured surface. Do the same exact thing you just did, okay? All right, so you just finished rolling out your second half of your dough, same way as you did the first, and cut it into the pieces again. And then I just have a little bit left, so I'm just going to shape it a bit, roll it just a little bit, and cut me one more. Put it on the tray. And then I have just a little bit of dough left, so I'm just going to kind of roll it up into a dough ball. It's too small to cut. So I'm just going to roll it out a little bit to that same thickness and just find me a spot. Put it. Alright, so they're ready to go in. They're going to rise up quite a bit because of that baking powder. Alright, so I just stick them in here. And I'm going to set my time. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so they don't overcook. So about 10 minutes. 10 minutes at 450. If you want them a little bit browner, you can go up to about 12 minutes. All right? Clean that off a minute. This out of the way. All right, so next part is you're going to need about 3 tablespoons of flour, of course salt and pepper, and we're just going to brown our sausage. All right, so I just buy the roll when I'm doing it this way, so I can just brown it like I would hamburger meat. And you can half this if you want to. And the amount of milk I have right now is 2 cups. If it's getting a little bit too thick, I can add just a little touch more water, just to however thick you like your gravy. If it's too thin, I'll add a little bit more flour to it. But first thing you do is Get your sausage in here, ready to brown it. This away, and then we'll get that browning. Chocolate on my hands. And just turn it on to like medium heat. And then a wooden spoon is what I like to use to do it. Just gonna chop it up a little bit so that when it starts browning, it's easier to chop it up into smaller pieces. So we're just gonna let that cook for a little while. We just wanna brown it really good, and then once it's done, we'll come back and add the rest of our stuff to it. So we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so our sausage is brown now. So I'm just gonna season it up a little bit. So a little bit of salt around, a little bit of pepper. The sausage that I bought was the hot. There's mild, there's medium, whatever you like, but we like hot. So I bought the hot sausage. The next thing that you're gonna do is you leave your drippings in, because that's how you make the gravy. Sprinkle your flour all around inside your sausage. And then you're just gonna stir it around, toss to coat. Make sure your sausage all gets coated really good with the flour. Alright, so it's all pretty much mixed in there real good. So next I have 2 cups of milk. 2% or whole works best. You can use skim if you want to, but I use 2%. And then just pour it all in. And then you're going to heat it through, and it's going to start to thicken. All right. Now, if you don't like sausage, you can do this with hamburger meat too. It's just the same process. All right. I'm going to turn it up just a little because I want it to start boiling, getting bubbly and thickened. And that's how you get it ready. And gravy takes practice. So if this is your first time making gravy, don't be surprised if it turns out too thick or too thin. It's just sort of, it takes a lot of years of getting used to exactly what the combo is that you want to get it the thickness that you want. I like mine medium for like a pudding thickness. So that's why I use about 3 tablespoons of flour and 2 cups of milk to make it like I like it. So it's already starting to get a little bit thicker now that I turned up the heat. That heat really kicks that flour and milk together and gets it going. So it should start bubbling any minute, and then we'll get ready to pour it up into our bowl. And our biscuits, they're almost done too. Oh yeah, let's get thick. It's on like a chicken bone, y'all. That's a saying we got down here. At least I used to always hear it growing up. Oh yeah, that's getting perfect. Perfect. Don't want it too thick, don't want it runny. That is just like I like it. I don't like mine over thick. So I'm gonna turn my heat down. Look at there. Perfect. So when it's done, just pour it out into your serving dish. Let it cool for a few minutes while your biscuits finish cooking up. Oh yeah. Good. Alright, we'll be back in a minute when our biscuits are done. Alright y'all, here's our homemade biscuits and sausage gravy. So we're gonna dish some up. Look how tender them are. Open them up. Open face for the gravy. There we go. Don't that look good? All right, we're fixing to give it a taste test. All right, y'all, I'm gonna have my husband taste test it for me today. Y'all say hey to 6. What you think, babe?
Can't get no better than that.
Awesome. All right, he likes it, y'all. All right, y'all, so that was it. That's homemade biscuits and sausage gravy. If y'all like my video, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We'll see y'all next time on Nene's Texas Kitchen.